Hi, I'm Dr. Lisa Ryan, and psychiatry is my field, but you are my passion. I hope that we can all think in more empowered ways, so that's why I'm doing this. Today, I want to talk about keeping a humble perspective and how to avoid the cost of feeling superior. This video is a good reminder to me as well. Most of us would probably claim to be fairly humble, but how humble are we? When others lack facility in areas where we do well, it's easy to get an attitude of superiority. In this video, I'm going to explain why feeling better than can really cost us. When we look around, we can see what people do, but we can't see how they got there or why they do it. This is why our judgments of others need to be slow and gentle. When we look down on others, we do ourselves and them a disservice. The truth is that none of us is better than anyone else. If we think we are, we pay a price. I'll get into the costs in just a minute. First, here are some examples. What if you're a person who's naturally slim? You've never had problems keeping weight off. Do you look at a person with an unhealthy weight and feel neutral? Or do you make some quick judgments? In your business, do you make more money than your competitors and therefore feel a little bit superior? Does your education level give you an attitude? Are you grateful and respectful to the janitor? No matter what level we have achieved in any area, there will always be those who we perceive as being a bit deficient compared to us. That's a red flag. Again, we see others at a certain point in time, but we don't know the full picture of how people have arrived at their current status. Someone who suffered abuse as a child may grow up with psychological struggles and the inability to do what you do. Maybe you grew up with abuse, but you have learned to really shine in some areas of your life. Either way, we don't have a right to decide how it should have gone for someone else. However, not judging someone doesn't mean we can't still see what's real. For instance, it's totally okay to see and acknowledge the facts of a matter. Maybe in some case you would stand higher on the ground and not do that. What I'm trying to say there is maybe you did do better in this certain case. What isn't okay is deciding that we are better or more valuable because we get a gold star in that checkbox. We've probably all seen videos where someone is doing something that makes them look really unreasonable, but then a little bubble of text pops up and tells us what's really happening in the situation. Like a man is really grouchy to his customers at the grocery store, but then we see the reason is that it's the anniversary of his son's death. It's never great to behave unkindly to others, but as humans, we sometimes mess up. In real life, no text bubble pops up to explain people, or, for that matter, to explain our own behaviors. When we judge quickly, we agitate ourselves quickly. Lack of judgments about how others should be, according to our great wisdom, goes hand in hand with peace. No judgments, no peace. If we don't have responsibility in a matter, we don't have any business getting our 2 cents in. Every one of us wants peace, but many times we do not wish to discipline our minds to stay humble. Humility doesn't judge people. It accepts that humans make mistakes or have persistent character deficits. Which of us would like to have a microscope taken to our thoughts and deeds so we could be judged by others who may not even know us and definitely don't know our backstory? Yeah, Somehow, we tend to think that the basics we know are common knowledge. I was talking to a pet sitter one day who kept interrupting me to tell me what she knew. I wanted to give her information about my dog's medicine. At one point, she interrupted again and said, "I know." She was annoying me, but I responded as nicely as I could and said, "I'm just telling you in case you don't know. I don't know what you know." She seemed to get that and calmed down. I think she felt I should know what she knew. Sorry, I didn't. But if I'm honest, I sometimes think others should know what I know. It's pretty arrogant to think that others should know what we know. We can wish that, but if we expect it, we will be disappointed, shocked, and be at risk of feeling superior. Maybe you have a family member that is very difficult. They are selfish, rude, and inconsiderate. We don't have to like this person, but if we judge them instead of their actions, we may silently decide that we are just a little bit better than they are. We may also be appalled every time they act the same way they have always acted. If you think about it, that's a little bit funny and short-sighted. If we expect that people will be as they usually are, then we won't be shocked. If we can remember, though, that sometimes people surprise us in a good way, then we will allow room for that to happen. It's not smart to predecide what someone will and won't do. We may end up getting ourselves worked up over nothing. If we like to think of ourselves as a bit superior in one way or another, it could be that this stems from a weak self-image that is too fragile to get real. It's really okay to be average or below average at something. Insecurity can nudge us to engage in verbal battles with others, or maybe it's the silent treatment. Either behavior is unproductive. If we are participating in either, then we are part of the problem. It takes two to tango. Either way, we have taken a stance of being right. It is clear, to us that is, that our position is elevated over the lowly position of the other. From this place, we can't treat another with compassion, fairness, or love. We put ourselves in the judgment seat. The judgment seat is a lonely seat because it separates us from the other. All I've said so far is about our own perspective and working to keep it humble. But what do we do when we are dealing with someone who doesn't fight fair or do things with integrity or has behaviors that are truly unbearable? These scenarios definitely come up. So here are some thoughts to consider. It's okay to distance ourselves from people who hurt us or take advantage of us. If for whatever reason we decide to stay around the person, we can judge the behaviors we don't like, but still refrain from judging the person. That may sound like a subtle difference, but it's an important one that keeps our own ego in check. Here's a tough one. Speak only about this person's good qualities, unless it's crucial to warn or inform someone else. It's not cool to ruin a reputation, as this can never be undone. There is no good in tearing someone down. If we wouldn't appreciate being discussed in a similar way, then we shouldn't be doing it ourselves. Directly ask for what you want. Maybe the person can step up. Be ready to handle the outcome, though, even if it isn't what you wanted. Stay calm and accept the situation for what it is. If you can't change it, then roll with it and don't be surprised if the person acts in a familiar and unpleasant way again. So many times we get way bent out of shape about something that reasonably we should have seen coming. Do good by this person whenever you can, and remember them in your prayers. When we do right and follow Jesus' example, even when it isn't deserved, we are using love to conquer what is lesser. You will always build your own character by doing what is kind or considerate, even if that person doesn't return the favor. Okay, you ask, so what does it cost me if I don't get more humble? I rather adore my amazingness. Let me lay it out for you. In a nutshell, lack of humility strains relationships, professional and personal, because we come across as arrogant, condescending, or dismissive. Another cost of this mindset is hindered personal growth. We'll resist feedback that could help us. Our development is hindered. Next, if we feel like we must prove our superiority in any way, we will be tired and stressed. Many people who act superior are trying to mask their feelings of insecurity and inadequacy. Hiding our true selves can lead to anxiety and depression. A superiority complex can hinder effective work with others. If we are unwilling to compromise, collaborate, or own our own mistakes, teamwork and productivity will suffer. Feeling superior can cause a lack of empathy. It's important to understand the feelings and experiences of others. When we fail to see ourselves as part of the regular whole of humanity, we become insensitive and damage relationships. All of that should be enough to make us stop and reevaluate. This topic has made me think about how I can be more humble. The next time we find ourselves thinking, wow, I'm a little bit better than that, aka you, we need to laugh at ourselves and ask if our own humility is better than theirs. The answer will be no. As we make an effort to keep perspective, we will make better choices, love more, and feel the peace. Until next time.